They're out there. You've just got to find them. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Clayts. I bit my own cheek there. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Clayts, and today I've got a video for you all about how I go about finding the best Wonder Kids on Football Manager 2021. Everyone has their own little methods. There's different ways of doing this, and I'm going to go through, I think, 6 different methods in today's video, all about how you can find those best young players to bolster your team, to take your team, your club to the next level, and, you know, fly up through those leagues and win Champions Leagues and be successful. It's a question that I get asked quite a lot, whether that's when I'm live over on Twitch, insert link here, or, you know, over on TikTok. Again, seamless plug there. But it is a question that lots of you seem to want to know the answer to. What is the best way to find Wonder Kids on Football Manager? And hopefully with the methods that I use, it gives you some ideas and you can go and find some of these best young players. So I'm going to start off in what I think is probably quite an obvious place to start when you are searching for Wonder Kids. I'm going to start in the player search section. I'm just going to do a simple player search here then, and you can see the filters that I've put in. I've just gone to attributes. I've just looked for an advanced forward on attack, and I'm just going to search for the best players that come up who are pretty decent for the level that I'm looking at. I put the age right down to 19. I've also added, this is a really fun one, by the way. If you don't do this, have a go at doing this. Put work permit likely on, because Brexit is a really annoying thing. All of the players that will come up here will now get a work permit, which will save you a lot of hassle. There's nothing worse than them being, you know, declined a work permit and you really were excited about them. So these players will get a work permit. And all I'm going to do is here, have a little look at the players that pop up. And straight away, my eyes are drawn to the players that are wanted because it's the summer. Other clubs are looking for these Wonder Kids too. First player at the top is Alexandra, a Brazilian striker. He's a left-footed. He is a Wonder Kid. He's wanted by Villa and Leicester in the Premier League. He's going to cost, what, about 15 mil, I reckon? 14.5 to 27.5. A player that would come would be a striker or an attacking midfielder. He's very good. He's a Wonder Kid. This is one way of finding Wonder Kid players. My next tip is actually very heavily linked to this tip here. We're going to stay in player search, and I looked at Alexandra there and I knew that he was going to be a Wonder Kid because the media description is Wonder Kid. Now this tip here, this is linked to a player's potential ability in the game, so it's so important. If your player is listed as a Wonder Kid, that means his potential ability must be of a certain level where he can become one of the top players in the game. So becoming a Wonder Kid is actually a big deal. So to weed out the players from here that are Wonder Kids and that are not Wonder Kids, we can put a little extra filter in here. For example, McAllister Rivas, whilst he's a very good player, as you see by that there, he's not listed as a Wonder Kid, which means he might have already reached his potential already. So what you want to do is go to, say, general info, change up this little angle here. And if you go to insert column, let's insert a column that is media description, and you can now see which ones are Wonder Kids, which ones are simply hardworking midfielders or strikers. Imagine just being described as a striker. These are our Wonder Kids. These are the players that you want to pay more attention to, especially if, like me, you've got your players sorted by value. This is really useful because you can go down your list. You can find the players that are lower down the list but are still Wonder Kids. For me, the cheapest player that is still a Wonder Kid is Everton. You can see he's a pretty good player overall. And how much would he cost from Benfica? They don't want to sell, but his value is only 2.6 million. He might be gettable, a little bit more gettable than some other players too. So this is something, of course, change up your filters, you know, look for different players and everything, but look out for this media description here for Wonder Kid. It's super useful. My fourth method is a popular one, and it is, of course, to go and check the youth teams of the national team. So I've started in Argentina here. If you go to their under 23, 22, 20, under 19 squads, you are going to be able to find Wonder Kids here. Let's start in the under 19s. And once again, as you can see, I've already added here, you can do this thing where you add the media description. You can see if any of these players are listed as Wonder Kids. So none of these are. So let's have a look at the other teams. Any in here? Not listed as Wonder Kids. None in here. None in here. In here, though, you've got a couple. You've got a left back here who plays for San Lorenzo. He's 6'3", 2.7 million. He's wanted. Again, look for that wanted sign. The other teams, they're not stupid. They know if a player's got loads of potential, they're going to want him. For example, Jose Chazarreta is wanted by Arsenal and Manchester United. He's a brilliant looking left back, and he's going to be available for about 5 million. I mean, we found a very good wonder kid there. I might actually scout him myself there. Let's check him out. He doesn't look quite good enough for me. He can't really cross, which I like in a wing back. But I mean, he actually might be a decent centre back one day. Maybe. Anyway, we'll give him a little scout. There's another one in here, or another couple in here. If I go down to the bottom, Ivan Alfano, also another wonder kid, 17 years old, wanted by Tottenham and Valencia and Real San Sebastian, who is that Real Betis?
I don't know, Jeff.
And trust me, you can waste hours and hours and hours just going through all of these under 22 teams, under 23 teams, especially the South American ones, because you can find some real gems in here. Straight away, I found another one. Yu Anderson is a wonder kid who plays for Brazil in the under 23s. He already plays for Liverpool. He's already very good. But you can do this. You can go through, especially in some of those obscure countries, because they are very, very cheap. As long as they will get that work permit, you can find some real hidden gems in those teams. And that actually brings me on to method number 5 for today's video, and that is to check Colombia. I don't know what it is, but Colombia are just an absolute goldmine for regen players, for wonder kids on this year's game. If I go to their national team now, I'm sure there are going to be players in here. Let's try under 23s straight away. 1, 2, 3 wonder kids in their under 23s team. The values, they're not too high. I actually think you can get better, but really, to show off this point, let me just show you a couple of the players that I've got in my actual team now in my Hereford save. If I have a look at the likes of Wilmer Murillo, who is a 19-year-old Colombian, now valued at 20 million. He is unbelievable. Just have a look at some of those attributes. Have a look, though, at how much I signed him for. £2 million from America de Cali. He is fantastic. He's actually not been great in terms of in the game yet. He was an absolute bargain, and actually, if I go through my team, he's not even the only one. I've got the likes of Beltran on the bench, another 19-year-old Colombian. I bought him for £2.1 million. There are more. It goes on and on and on. I've just actually brought in Luis Arroyo, who is another 21-year-old Colombian with 20 determination. He's not actually listed as a wonder kid, but he is going to be so good. There's just some unbelievable wonder kids in Colombia this year, which you can go and get for so cheap, and they can turn out so good. Imagine the money I'd now make on Wilmer Murillo if I was to sell him. He's still only 19. He's got 12 caps for the national team. He's going to be so good. Go and scout Colombia. Tip number 5 is something that I'd imagine lots of you are already doing on your Football Manager saves, but I would mention it anyway, and that is to check out certain clubs that you know produce excellent wonder kids, because they've got brilliant youth facilities, they've got excellent youth recruitment, that type of thing, and they just seem to churn out these wonder kids year on year on year. One team that does this is Sochaux over in France, and in my save they have produced some excellent players which I've taken advantage of myself as well. If I go to their transfer history, 2 players they've sold here, look, they've sold players to Arsenal and to Inter. Karim Diop is an excellent player that they've produced. I mean, look how good he looks. He's moved on for 5 million, rising to 8 million. And then a player they've sold for a bit more, Jessim Robin, went to Inter. Another unbelievable player, though. Even myself, I've gone and made sure that I've taken advantage. I brought in Giovanni Alamele, who is an excellent little left back, although I've loaned him out since then. But this is the type of thing to look out for. If you know about these teams, there's lots of them about. Just look for teams with great youth recruitment. Check out their youth intakes every year. They're going to have some great wonder kids to take advantage of. And that brings me on to my final tip or method for today's video, and that is one that I think is a really good one, and one that I've not seen many people using in their saves, and that is to check out the awards for young players in your save. A great award to check out is the Next Gen Award, spelled NXGN like this. This is an award that goes to the best young player every single year, and they are always brilliant wonder kids. If I show you here, this year's winner was Benjamin Thomas, who plays for Feyenoord. Wonder kid, left winger / striker, really good, listed as a wonder kid. He's the type of player that we found him straight away just like this. Second place in that, by the way, was Yuri Pipers, who I tried so hard to sign. He ended up choosing Arsenal. It's a very sad story. He went on to score 31 league goals this year. I'm upset that I missed out on him. But third place, look, was one of the players that we've bought, which is Wilmer Murillo. If you go down through these players, you'll notice they are all excellent wonder kids, and it's a great place to find them. Alongside the Next Gen Award, by the way, you've got the Under 21 Footballer of the Year, which has been won by my striker, a wonder kid striker we found of our own look, by the way. He's now 21, 6'5" Jurassic. We signed him for 19 million from the Czech League. He's been unbelievable. But again, really great young players here. Cantu was a player before that. Is he still pretty good? He's still pretty good. Look, you can find players through this method. I highly recommend it. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Hopefully these tips will help you in your save. If you've got any of your own tips, I'm well aware that there are more methods that people use in their saves to find their Wonderkids in their saves. But if you've got them, leave them down in the comments below because I want to hear about them. Maybe I'll start using them as well. These are the methods I use. I want to hear yours too. Comments for those. Leave a like on the video if you've enjoyed this or found this useful. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and I will see you very, very soon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.